Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk, and today I'm going to be reviewing Morbid the Seven Acolytes. Morbid the Seven Acolytes is a horror punk action RPG filled with horror and gore, the most gruesome take on the isometric Souls-like genre yet. With deep immersive lore, a diverse world to explore, and brutal boss fight encounters, Morbid the Seven Acolytes is a challenge for all comers. This game has been developed by Still Running and published by Merge Games, who actually sent us a review for this game, so thank you very much for doing so. It's currently on the PC, the PlayStation, Xbox and the Switch, and will set you back at around $29.99. Now, that is quite expensive for an indie game, but I'm going to tell you right at the beginning of this review that I actually think that price is warranted. It is quite an in-depth, big game. This game may look like a indie game, you know, it may look very simple, but I can tell you this, that there is a lot of lore in this game. You know, it's actually more complex than I originally anticipated this game to be. There is a perk leveling system with multiple ways to build your character. There's in-depth lore and NPCs to meet, you know, to chat about things. This is very much like a Souls game. I believe it's tried to be, you know, which is absolutely great. You know, for me, I love tough games, and this game is tough. If you put a foot wrong in this game, you can definitely expect to meet your end and have to restart over. This game doesn't really punish you too much for dying. I think the game expects you to die. As you can see, this is one of the this is actually probably the first boss fight you'll find in the game, and he was a tough cookie. I very quickly ran out of healing materials, and so I had to dodge my way around, and that's really how these games are meant to be played anyway. You know, big strikes and dodge, and so that's what I was doing, my special attack with my sword, and I was getting out there before he could return the attack. Luckily for me, this actually worked, because I definitely didn't want to have to fight him again. He was definitely a tough cookie, and I didn't actually mean to run into him, kind of accidentally run into him. But you got a really nice lore book from him, and I actually got a better weapon up there as well. This game is tough, like I said, but it's fun, and it's a game that is definitely worth putting the effort into, because this game's rewarding as well. It has a really strange sanity management system as well, where the stuff you're eating and the things you're doing causes you to go a little bit barking, and so, you know, you need meds to actually help with that too, because if you don't, you'll quickly find that your stress system it doesn't cope well. Your screen starts filling with visuals, and you need to keep that under wraps. This game has a pretty easy to use inventory management system as well. It's something that I think that anyone that's played any RPG, be it the old school ones or the new ones, will be very familiar and comfortable with. There are over 25 unique melee weapons in this game, ranging from swords and axes, maces and spears and more. There are also several different types of ranged weapon or guns in this game as well, and there are a variety of, you know, different items to heal yourself with or give you a slight different buff. So there's a few different things to manage in this game. Like I said, this game is surprisingly in-depth. It covers a variety of different things, and it definitely ticks a lot of boxes. Now, visually, some may say this game doesn't look good because, you know, it's an old looking game, but for me this game does exactly what it wants to do. You know, this game may not be Cyberpunk, it may not be Assassin's Creed in the visuals aspect, but this game does well enough. You can tell, you know, who you are, what you're doing, and the environments are really interesting, and you kind of want to explore them. You know, and the other thing about that is, though, the more you explore, the more bad guys you encounter. The more bad guys you encounter, you know you've got a chance to die at every single turn. The other thing to notice is just because you get an upgraded weapon, and you know, I got a few upgraded weapons just in the first few hours of playing this game. But just because you have a better weapon available doesn't necessarily mean you should upgrade to it, because every weapon comes with different stats. So for instance, the first sword you start with in this game, I kind of learned the timing of the special attack that my character does with it. And when I upgraded my weapon, the timing was off. You know, they did the special attack at a different speed slightly. And it took me a little minute to actually learn that new pattern, so I could actually make sure I hit my enemies without being hit myself. Because I do not want to die in this game. Like I said, you don't really get punished for dying in this game. You just kind of respawn at the last kind of meditation spot that you visited last. But the problem is, when you do, all the enemies respawn with them, which means all those hard enemies that you've slowly managed to tick off your map so that way you can explore freely, they're all back again. In one sense, though, that is a good thing, because the way this game works is the more enemies you kill, the more experience points you'll earn, which means the more perk points you'll be able to use to create a character to actually last a little bit longer in this game. So you can kind of rinse and repeat and abuse the system a little bit, but it won't really help you in the long run, because unless you are good at dodging, unless you like Souls type games, this game may not be for you, because whether you are buffed or not, you are going to die a lot during this game. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this game. I enjoyed playing this game, and I think I'm going to keep playing this game until Cyberpunk comes out. Now, I probably going to be busy on Empire Sin as well, but I'm definitely going to be revisiting this game because I really enjoyed it. It's one of those games that I heard about at the beginning of the year, and I've been excited about playing all year. So it's good to see that this game has finally come out. It hasn't disappointed. It works from the absolute off. Nothing wrong so far. So it's good to see that they've put together a game that actually does what they wanted to do, and it does it well, which is really good. Anyway, I'm going to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. It's quite a big score. It's actually one of the biggest scores all year. But I think this game has definitely earned it. Price and length and all that. This game didn't disappoint at all. So anyway, if you guys have heard about this game, if you're excited about picking it up, or maybe you have already played it or playing it right now while watching this review, let me know your thoughts about this game in the comments below. And I'll do my very best to make sure that I reply to each and every one of you. Anyway, from me, it has been the Monk. I have been the Monk. We have been the Monk. I have been the Monk. We've been the Critically Curious. And guys, I'll catch you in the next video real soon. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you're all getting ready for Christmas, because that is just around the corner. I'll catch you guys later.